Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it. What's up, cousins? And welcome back to Melanin Mysteries, where true crime meets real talk with a black lens. If you're new here, hey boo, you're family now. Go ahead and pull up a seat. And if you're one of our day ones, you already know what it is. We're back with another case that's going to have you clutching your pearls and side-eyeing these trifling situationships. Today, we're covering the heartbreaking murder of Julii Johnson, a beautiful Detroit woman whose life was tragically cut short. And baby, the circumstances, child, is giving betrayal, secrets, and some real shady behavior. But before we dive in, let me tell you what's good. We're going live on August 2nd, y'all. Yep, in person in Cleveland or virtually from your couch, buying it all. Tickets are available now at melaninmysteries.com. Tickets start at just $15. It's going to be laughs, gasp, and all behind the scenes chaos. So go grab yours before they're gone. Now let's talk about July because sis deserved better. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host, Willie. Here we go.
The morning was quiet. It's just after 7:30 a.m., the kind of stillness where everything feels a little bit slower. July stepped off the porch, walking towards her car parked a few feet away. The air was cold, typical for a Detroit morning in January, and she had just finished spending time at her boyfriend's house. Nothing out of the ordinary, just conversation, maybe a few laughs. They were in a good place lately, or at least they were trying to be. So she reaches for the car door, already thinking about the rest of her day, and then comes the gunshots. Quick, loud, no warning, and she dropped where she stood. Julii Johnson was born August 25th, 1982, right in the heart of Detroit, Michigan. Her mother was Pamela Johnson, raised alongside her older brother, Jameer. Let me tell y'all about July. People didn't just say she was beautiful, they said she was like genuinely beautiful, inside and out. And when you saw her, baby, the beauty was undeniable. But beyond the looks, she was a phenomenal mother to her teenage daughter, Kiera. She held it down in her customer service job, and she was just trying to live life and find a little peace. Like so many of us, July had been through it. She dealt with her share of sorry ass men and the heartbreak scars to prove it. But she wasn't bitter. She still believed in love. She just wanted something real, something solid, something safe. And then in passing, she runs into the man of her dreams. And this will be Jim Terrell Latner. And when they met, July was like, oh, yeah, I think that's my man, y'all. And she was like, my man, my man, my man. They said that Jim was like real cool. He was funny. He was naturally attractive, articulate, and he owns a car wash. The man got a couple dollars.
Okay, so by the time New Year Eve of 2016 rolled around, the couple had been together for about 2 years. They were happy, they were in love, and it looked like, they were about to head down that aisle to the altar at some point. They even celebrated New Year's Eve in Vegas to bring in 2016. And of course, everybody thought that they were going to come back married. They posing in their pictures all over social media about the trip to Vegas, having fun on vacation, snapping it up on all angles. You know how it is when you're on vacation. You showing off every little second of you having fun on social media. I usually don't show my pictures to afterwards because I don't want people to know I'm gone because just in case they try to rob me. Just throwing it out there. And friends are in the comments hyping them up, saying how cute they are and how much they love them together and, relationship goals and all that good stuff. But, there's always a hater, somebody lurking in your comments, somebody who always got something to say. Namely, that hater was Tim's baby mama. Her name was Marcy Griffin. Our cousins, let me be real with y'all. We don't know a whole lot about Marcy's Griffin background, you know what I'm saying? But here's what we do know, right?
She was born February 13th, 1971, and she had been in a long term relationship with Tim Latner. The two of them shared two kids, and they were together for about 17 years. That's a whole lot of time, a whole decade of history with no ring before Tim started dealing with July. And listen, Marcy wasn't exactly new to the system. So back in 2012, she caught a possession charge. She ended up taking a plea deal that landed her a 5-year sentence, but she only served about 3. Still, that time on the inside, it changes people. Now, here's where the mess really starts to boil. So we said Tim owns a car wash, right? But this wasn't no everyday pull up and spray situation. No, ma'am, no, sir. The car wash was a front. It was giving money laundering. It was giving Breaking Bad Detroit edition. Tim was knee deep in the drug world, real heavy, and we're gonna get into all that mess in just a moment. But remember that car wash because it comes back around.
All right, now it's a few weeks after the new year. It's actually January 13th of 2017. July is just leaving Jim's house. They had a nice evening. July has to go to work. It's around 7:30 a.m. and she's headed to her car. As soon as she gets, to her car, she is shot 7 times. Jim is in the house. He hears the gunshots, and of course, he runs out immediately, to check on his girl. Like, he trying to figure out what's going on. He doesn't know if it's something to do with her or maybe like something else in the neighborhood. But what he immediately does is he gets on the phone with 911 and lets them know that his girl had been shot. Unlike Don from last week, 'cause remember Don called the 911 and was like, "Yeah, somebody in my pool." Think it was your girl, but I digress,
It's
right?
somebody.
All right, somebody's in my pool. So when EMS arrived on the scene, July was still breathing, but one of the bullets had pierced her forehead. She was transported to the hospital, and unfortunately, she did pass away. So rest in heaven. So at this point, we officially got a homicide investigation on our hands, cuzzos. Police are on the scene and they need answers fast. So it's 5 shell casings were recovered near July's body, and naturally, Tim, being the boyfriend, is the first person they look at. Of course, he's the closest to the victim, so they have to question him first. And you already know how this goes, cousins. They're not stopping at just asking questions. They want to search that boy house. And that, cousins, is where things, starts to spiral. Because what they find inside the house, yeah, Tim's day is about to go from bad to much, much, much worse.
Now, when the police searched Tim's house, child, they found way more than they bargained for. They were probably expecting to find a murder weapon. Standard, since he was the boyfriend, first suspect. Mm-mm. What they uncovered was so much deeper. What really turned heads? The $500,000 in cash
Good
they found.
Lord. Good
Yes,
Lord. Look,
uh,
let me ask you,
$1 million.
what would you do with $500,000, Tiffany?
Well, they wouldn't be in my house.
Amen to that.
That
Spoken like a true reform criminal. Know what I'm saying? But what
and
would you do?
I have a craft empire, legal hustle. But I mean, $500,000, it wouldn't be in my
That's not like real talk. A half a million is not. I know that sounds crazy. It's not a lot of money. Like back in the day, it was. I mean, it's more money than I got, but that's not. It's not like a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
it's
not.
life changing money.
To depending on who get it.
To me, that would
I
change
mean,
my life.
because you're smart with your finances. You know what I'm saying? But some people, $500,000, the first $300,000 going in the car. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know how to budget money, like a family that we do know that we ain't gonna mention. But I digress. Go ahead.
So this money, it wasn't neatly stacked in a safe or tucked away. Mm-mm. It was scattered all over the house. They found it tucked between a pair of pants on the bathroom floor, stashed in a dresser drawer, hidden in a nightstand, stuffed in a plastic bag inside a disguise box, and a whole duffel bag full of it out in the garage. So, of course, when they bring Tim down to the station, the detectives got questions. One, they want to know what happened to July. But two, and let's be honest, maybe just as important, they like, sir, why you got a $500,000 in cash just chilling in your house? And Tim, he pulls out his constitution and pleads the fifth when it comes to that money. He had nothing to say.
Is it? It ain't a. I'm sorry. It ain't illegal to have that much in your house, is it?
It's very suspect.
I mean,
Normal
I
people.
get, but okay. Hypothetically, if I don't trust banks, it's still not illegal though. That's the thing, though. It's not illegal to have that much money in your house.
I'm asking Chichi.
Yeah, because it's not. Because my thing is, okay, hypothetically, I had that has nothing to do with what's going on. Me having 500. Why are you even asking me about my money?
Okay, so it's not legal. I mean, it's not illegal, but you have to prove it's legal income.
But that's crazy. So, that's what I'm saying, man.
But I mean, because that's how they catch up drug dealers. Like that's how they get them for tax
No, I
evasion.
got you. I mean, no, that makes sense. I mean,
If
regardless. I mean, we
if you
already know.
look on the IRS website, it literally says, like, even if you have money from ill-gotten gains, you're supposed to report it. Sir,
Ain't
if
that crazy?
I'm not reporting my income, you're gonna come lock me up. But yes, according to the IRS, you were supposed to report any income over $300.
So
We
imagine you doing your tax returns like, all right, well, I made about 400,000 from crack sales. Like they really gonna give you a tax refund. Oh, the government. Okay, go ahead. I was just curious
This is
about that. Go ahead.
America.
Yes.
So, but when it comes to July, he made it crystal clear he had nothing to do with her death and that he loved her. And when asked if there was anybody that could potentially want to hurt July, he gave up a name quick, fast, and in a hurry. Marcy Griffin. Yes, his baby mama. And honestly, I think that was the smartest thing he could have done in that moment because he know he messed up and he may be looking at some time along with whomever killed July.
I've been salt, man. I'm my girl dead, and now I'm about to get investigated. Jeez. So meanwhile, on the same day when they searching Tim's house, they also see three cell phones, and it was Officer Brandon Ray who reviewed the information from the phone. Now, of course, he found texts between July and Tim, nothing out of the ordinary. There, however, he did find text messages between Tim and Marcy. They said that there were over 1,000 text messages between the two from March of 2016 through December 2016. That's a lot of damn messages, especially with somebody you ain't supposed to be dealing with. That's just throwing it out there. That's a lot of messages. They say most of these text messages were initiated by Marcy. Messages were very hostile and derogatory towards Julie. So she ain't got over her man, well, her ex-man. So Marcy was not happy with the relationship between July and Tim. It was obvious she was bitter, she was hateful, and she was downright mean. Here's are a few of the text messages that were found in Tim's phone from Marcy. So go ahead, let them know what it was, Tiffany.
And these are all direct quotes.
Yeah, so if it sounds crazy, we ain't the illiterate ones.
She said, quote, ugly, funny looking ass bitch, go be with that rat ass keeping up shit bitch of yours.
Wait, stop. Women, y'all funny. The first thing women want to call the other woman ugly or funny built.
And the girl was freaking gorgeous.
She
Another one,
was. That's
freaking
what I'm
gorgeous.
saying. Like, come on, man. Don't, yeah, at least be
And then and
real.
I should be funny. You look at Marcy. Mhm.
Mm,
So you walked out on your family chasing a rat hole with zero potential. Mm.
mm.
Yeah, you stupid bitch. You have the nerve to bring that dummy around your mama die, bitch.
She mad. That girl, that's that's a bitter critter right there.
Literally bitter. So she says, I hope man catch up to you and that bitch on mobile and blast y'all dumbasses.
Damn, she done brought man in this, man. Made him now he look like a suspect. And he probably ain't got nothing to do with the situation at hand. Just bitter, y'all. I'm talking about bitter, a bitter critter. So there were other messages in Tim's phone that came from Marcy that basically showed that she had access to personal information that belonged to July. At one point, she even texted she had July's driver license number. Like, gee, just leave it be. But it gets even deeper. So on June 4th, 2016, Marcy confronted Tim at his car wash business. It just so happens that his nephew, Lindale, was there and recorded a video. And in that text that Lindale sent him, when I say him, we're talking about Tim, he said that he recorded the video because Marcy was so mad, he thought that she would hurt Tim and he feared for his safety. So on the video, Marcy said that, and I'm going to quote, y'all, this is just what she said. Y'all remember this conversation? Yetch, I'm coming. You are my daddy. I'm getting you. I'm gonna hit you in your stomach. F this bitch. Unquote. By now, police are very interested in speaking with Marcy because these are not normal text messages. No, these are text messages from a person who's psychotic. Also, while canvassing the neighborhood, police did find a pair of gloves not far from the crime scene. This is the same day of the murder. A few days later, January 16th, the police went back to survey the area again and do a deep, more in-depth search of the area as well to see if they can locate any surveillance videos in the neighborhood.
So there was an LA Fitness that had video that showed that there was an SUV parked on the south side of the building on the morning of January 13th, 2017. A person gets out the passenger door, it looks to be a man, and walks around to the front of the building. Now, this man, he heads north towards a walking path that leads to a subdivision where the shooting happened. The video then shows this same man returning to the video a bit later. Now, after the video, police try to retrace the man's steps from the LA Fitness to the shooting scene. And James Wolfe, he was a detective. He himself took the walk and he said it took 7 minutes. So they're trying to line everything up to put this puzzle together. And while they're doing this, they also find a 9 millimeter Smith and Wesson handgun, and this gun had been found about 100 yards away from where the gloves they had found the other day. So they come to the conclusion that the guns and the glove were connected to the case.
All right, so now let's circle back to Tim. After the first search, police weren't done. Of course, they saw that money. They like, yeah, we're gonna investigate not only we gonna investigate a murder, but we're gonna go ahead and get another charge on them. So they decided to go back for round two and not just search the house again, but they also went through his car. Now, officially, they were still looking for anything connected to July's murder, but let's be real, cuzzos. They were also clearly building a separate case. I mean, the man had $500,000 in cash in his house. This was about to be more than just a homicide. That's crazy, man. Just all that money in your house. We be doing some of the dumbest shit. So when they pulled the background, it confirmed, and when I say his background, Tim's, it confirmed that what they already suspected, that Tim had priors. He had served time before. In fact, he had 2 felony convictions for drug possession with intent to deliver. One in 1993 and another in 1997 for cocaine and heroin. So he served 6 years on the 1997 case, and when he caught another case in 2003, he ended up on lifetime probation. Yeah, lifetime. Lifetime probation? That you can't do nothing,
Nothing.
nothing on lifetime probation. Gee, you so much as stick your Johnson over the gun line. That's from my movie
Going
Life, in
down.
case y'all don't know. So anyway, he served 6 years on the 1997 case. I told you about that. Then they gave him a lifetime probation. Now, here's where it gets really wild. When they searched his 2016 Ford F-150, which, by the way, was registered to his mama, they found some next level stuff. There were hidden compartments built into the dashboard, right where the airbag should have been. And these weren't some janky, like, hidey holes. No, 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 no. There was a actuator installed to raise the compartment up from the passenger side. Now, inside, this is what they found. They found over $12,000 in cash. So remember, he already got $500,000 in the house. He got 12,000 in the car. A bag of weed, 2
Who rides
phones.
around with that much money in your
I
car?
don't. It's this stupid nigga, man. I'm like, come on, right?
Well,
Two.
clearly he's not a good criminal if he already got caught twice. I'm just saying.
I
And he
mean, true
definitely ain't
that.
got the 3 strike rules because
Now,
he
but hold
ain't
on,
getting
though.
up forever.
But hold on, slow down, Kibosabi. Slow down. If you notice, they never say he get that. All they doing is catching him with. They ain't catching him with no drugs though. So he doing something. They only
They
caught him
did
with
catch him
money
with
so
they
far.
did catch him with drugs.
I
Yes,
mean,
they
they
did.
caught him with a bag of weed. I'm talking about
No,
this.
in his prior conviction.
Ah, yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
talking about now though. I'm talking about now. So he's smarting up. He
well,
opened the market up. Yes, that's what he
he'll get
did.
caught, so you ain't that good.
Yeah, all right, I got you. I got you. So look, I told you about the cash, the weed, 2 phones, and a 9 millimeter Ruger with, you guessed it, the serial number filed off. Now that's what's gonna get him in trouble. Right there. Right there. That's what does, because especially would have been on lifetime probation. And when they checked on one of these phones, text messages, incriminating ones, the kind that made it pretty clear that Jim wasn't just reminiscing on his past, he was actively in the drug game, right? But remember, still no drugs. So yeah, Tim
Tim,
was arrested, and now police had 2 major cases to untangle, one involving drugs and one involving a murder. I will be livid.
livid is an understatement.
I mean, come on, dog. But it's his fault, though, man. Why you got that much money just hanging around your house? Like, damn, nigga, you ain't heard of a. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, I know this sounds cliche, but a bank?
You can't put illegal funds in the bank. That's the first place they're gonna seize it. I would have it in a a
I
store.
mean, yeah, he had it. They said it had it in the microwave. It was in the freezer. It was underneath the couch, in the tampon box, underneath a quick weave. I mean, he had it everywhere.
Everywhere but where it would say.
Where it's supposed to be at, yes. In a hidden compartment. You got hidden compartments in your car, but you ain't got one in your house. Come on, man.
So now they have Tim on the hook and they need to go talk to Marcy about these text messages. So they pull up on Marcy and they ask her, "Hey, can you come down to the station? Come chat with us for a second." So she comes down, but real talk, she ain't got nothing to say. She says, "Look, I was at work that day. I'm so sorry that happened to that woman, but that has absolutely nothing to do with me. And I had nothing to do with this. And if that's all you need from me, I gotta go." So they do go to Marcy's job and they're able to get surveillance. They check her timesheet, and she really was at work that day. But that does not mean that she wasn't involved.
Not at
Remember,
all.
there was a man on the surveillance video. So Officer Gray, he gets a search warrant for Marcy's phone. And when he's able to finally get in the phone, because we do know that phone records take a bit, so there was no data on the phone before noon on January 13th, 2017, the day that July was killed. But the records from the phone company show that Marcy's phone received a text from a phone number with a 4616 number at 8:44 p.m. the night before the murder, and then again at 9:17 a.m. on the date of the murder. So whoever Marcy was texting may have been connected to the shooting.
So, in the midst of all of this, July had been laid to rest on January 23rd, 2017. So, next up, police needed a search warrant for the phone number ending in 4616. That warrant was issued on January 27, 2017, my daddy birthday, and it allowed them to pull data from Metro PCS, mainly to track the phone location through pings. So with Metro PCS and a random number, of course, it's giving burner phone vibes. The phone didn't start pinging until Saturday, February 4th, 2017. That ping led them to 29801 Greater Mac in St. Clair Shores, where a woman named Gloria Ray lived. So police set up a surveillance on the house. While watching, they saw a man, George Gerald Ryder, leave the house and get into a Ford Explorer. They followed him to a nearby car wash, and the 4616 number was still pinging from that area. I didn't know they could do that actively. That's the first time I ever heard that. They can actively see what is pinging.
They've done that in a few of the cases we've covered.
No, I didn't remember. I know not actively see. I know they would went back to see. I didn't know they could actually follow it while they're doing it. I didn't know that. So when George tried to pull off, police moved in and stopped him. They got him out of the car and found two phones on him. Then they spotted a third phone inside the vehicle. George didn't give him consent to search it, and since it wasn't on the person, they couldn't touch it. But the other two phones, though, were seized immediately. They went ahead, confiscated and impounded the car, and later Sergeant Rushton got a separate search warrant for that third phone. Once they had access, it turned out to hold a lot of valuable information. Now, here's the part that'll make you blink, right? They didn't arrest George. They let him go on foot, of course. Why? Because the Explorer that he was driving in, they went ahead and put that in police custody. So he had been briefly questioned on the scene. They asked if he knew Julii Johnson. He said he had no idea who that was. They asked about Marcy Griffin. Same story. Man that acted like he never heard either name a day in his life. Just complete selective memory. Now, when they are able to get into the third phone, they noticed that on the morning of the shooting, there were a series of outgoing calls that were made from George's phone to Marcy's phone, right? One at 5:24 a.m., another at 5:33 a.m., 5:44 a.m., and 5:48 a.m. Then around 9:16 a.m., which was 2 hours after July was shot, George texted Marcy and said, quote, "Good morning, sunshine. Today is a beautiful day, Friday the 13th." Marcy then responded, quote, "LOL." George texts, "I hope you understand." Marcy then says, quote, "Everything about I understand." Oh my
So there was another number that came up during the investigation. One George had been texting around the time of the murder. So when police dug into it, the messages were just as suspicious as George's, if not more. That number, it belonged to none other than Eric Gibson. Now, this is where things get even messier. So, Eric Gibson was living in the same house that George had been followed from. Yes, 29801 Greater Mac. Turns out Gloria Ray wasn't just some random woman, she was Eric's mama. So, George and Eric are moving real bold, doing this all out of Mama Gloria's house. And when police showed up to question Eric, they immediately recognized him as the same man caught on the surveillance footage at the LA Fitness the morning of the murder, getting out of that white truck and then sprinting back like he was in a relay. Baby, the minute they tried to approach him, that boy took off like he was had a starting gun. He was not about to go quietly. He ran, but not
So that
far.
boy was like Forrest Gump.
He tried. He didn't get too far though. Police snatched him up quick and brought him in for questioning. So Eric was officially arrested on February 6, 2017. Now, at the time, he had no prior criminal history. But once they ran his fingerprints and DNA, it was a wrap. His prints matched up with shell casings found at the scene, which had been fired from the Smith& Wesson handgun that had already been recovered. Like, it don't get more caught red-handed than that. And just to add icing to the cake, Eric was seen on another surveillance tape the day before the murder driving the same truck that popped up at the LA Fitness. So the timeline, the footage, the phone, the DNA, everything was pointing straight at him. So now, once Eric was in custody, police were ready to apply pressure. And next on their list, Marcy Griffin. But before they rounded up Marcy, they grabbed George and arrested him on February 7th. So when George was arrested, he had an old school flip phone on him, and the police weren't able to do anything with that for real. But when they were able to get the actual phone records, that's where the juice was. So the information showed that at 5:19 p.m. on January 12th, 2017, the day before the shooting, George's phone was using sections of towers around the crime scene and near the LA Fitness, and Marcy's phone was using a tower in downtown Detroit around 10:30. It looks like they were trying to meet up in person. So, 7:42 a.m., shortly after the shooting, Eric's phone hit a cell tower near Coolidge and I-696, and there was evidence that the shooting happened just before 7:34 a.m., and it would take approximately 12 minutes to drive from LA Fitness to the area of the shooting. And given the time it would take for the shooter to return to the truck parked at the LA Fitness, George's position would have made it possible that he was at the LA Fitness at the time of the shooting.
Okay, here we go. So Marcy was the last to be arrested. She was actually arrested on February 10th, 2017. By then, the case had fully cracked open. All three, Marcy Griffin, George Ryder, and Eric Gibson, were charged with first-degree murder and premeditated murder. They were all held without bond, but when it came to George Ryder, bond wasn't even a discussion. His criminal record was deep. So back in 1978, George was convicted of a weapons felony, then later sentenced to 24 years for armed robbery and assault with intent to commit murder. But he ended up only serving 9 years. Now, how the hell did you get 9 out of 24 years? That's crazy. In the 1990s, he did more time on drug conviction, right? So by the time July's case came around, George already had a reputation, and not just with law enforcement. He had once been a co-owner of Detroit's historic Fine Arts Theater, and his name had come up in connection with several unsolved murders over the years. Word would George was had a long operated in the shadows, and now he was front and center in a murder trial. So as soon as the arrest hit the news, the media jumped on it. So local outlets started digging into his background, pulling his court records, and rehashing past charges. Headlines called him a career criminal and speculated on whether July's murder was the only one he had really was involved in. His tie to the theater, his past charges, and his alleged reputation on the street, all of it became part of the public narrative. And let me tell you, judged by public is worse than judged by jury. Cause
Mhm.
when the public judge it, it's pretty much over. Know what I'm saying? I don't think people could even get fair cases. Know what I'm saying when it comes down to that? Do you?
No, I mean, it's happened so many times. Like,
Yeah,
you get tried by media in public and
you
it
can't get a
sways.
fair case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care what nobody say. You can't get a fair case. I don't care. And they try to move it from one county to another. Nigga, they got TVs. Like, come on. So anyway, for prosecutors, they painted a clear picture of a man with nothing to lose. And for the defense, it made George nearly impossible to separate from the violence he was now being accused of.
So there were all kinds of chaos leading up to the trial for George Ryder, Marcy Griffin, and Eric Gibson. It was supposed to be a straightforward prosecution turned into a legal circus real quick. So the trial was originally scheduled to begin on August 22nd, 2017, but Judge Jennifer Fonts had to push it back. Why? Because on June 21st, George Ryder's attorney quit, just dipped. He was then assigned a new court appointed lawyer who came in claiming he hadn't had enough time to review the case and couldn't represent George properly under the current schedule. Except George was out here creating extra problems for himself too.
Mm.
While he's sitting in jail, George got caught up in a whole separate scheme. He was accused of conspiring with two other defendants to commit arson, all in an attempt to collect $100,000 in insurance money.
Once a criminal, always a criminal.
So now he's trying to fight a murder case and beat an arson for hire scam behind bars. This is truly criminal multitasking at its finest, right? Then here comes Eric Gibson adding to the fire. He files a motion to have his own attorney removed, saying that the man wasn't focused on his defense because he was distracted by another case that Eric had caught. That case, it was just a little incident where Eric allegedly tried to choke another inmate to death while in county jail waiting for trial.
Yeah, nothing too big. Nothing too big. Just tried to kill
Nothing big.
somebody.
Yeah, nothing big. Like, you got a whole new charge before your main trial even starts. And at this point, the courtroom wasn't just dealing with the murder case, it was juggling multiple defendants, multiple new charges, and lawyers trying to tap out before the whole thing blew up.
Mm. So at the time all this was unfolding, Tim Latner, remember, July's boyfriend, was actually out on federal bond. He was facing charges of illegally transporting a firearm, and his trial was already scheduled for January 22nd, 2018. So let me real quick. This whole case, of course,
The shit show.
July. Yeah, I feel horrible for July. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, all she was doing was living her life and get killed, right?
You know what this reminds me of?
Um, what?
Our boy Sal minding,
Oh, just minding his
his money.
black-owned business. Yes. And the cra so but what I was gonna say is, I feel sorry for Tim. He lost his woman, his money, and about to lose his freedom. Like, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not justifying him selling drugs to the community. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, he literally about to lose all of that behind a ex with bitter. That's crazy. So anyway, like I said, he had the trial set up for January 22nd, 2018. So because he was actively fighting his own federal case, Tim made the decision not to testify during the trial for July's murder. And legally, he didn't have to. Testifying could have jeopardized his own defense, so he stayed on the sideline during the courtroom proceedings. I would have been mad at that because I'm snitching. And he can't even do that because it's gonna mess up his own case. So meanwhile, the feds had already seized a large amount of cash from Tim during their investigation. So check this out. Out of that total, now this right here about to make you sit to your stomach, right? The government ended up giving him $53,000, but they kept $480,000, which was ultimately forfeited to the government. This dude lost $480,000. Yes, it was illegal money, but it was still his money to the government because an ex-girlfriend decided to
The
kill
government,
his
as my
woman,
daddy would say,
allegedly.
my government is some of the biggest gangsters to ever live, okay?
Bruh, I'm talking about, yeah, and I wonder what they do with this money. What are they gonna do with it?
It's gonna come up, quote, missing.
Missing. Yep, exactly. That's crazy. So while Tim was in charge in connection to July's murder, he was still very much caught up in his own legal storm. Man, tried to mind his black owned illegal business.
Right? See, can't don't know. People don't be letting you live. Sad.
Let me
And
sell drugs in the community.
in peace. Leave me alone. Dang, I wasn't even doing nothing. Um, so the trial for George Ryder, Eric Gibson, and Marcy Griffin finally kicks off on January 3rd, 2018 in Macomb County Circuit Court. So it had already been delayed multiple times between attorney issues, new charges popping up, and just the overall mess surrounding the case. But when it finally started, it was time to lay it all out. So the trial, it lasted about 3 weeks. And over that time, the prosecution methodically walked the jury through every layer of this case, starting with the surveillance footage, the burner phones, the threatening text, and the digital breadcrumbs that connected all three defendants to each other and to July's murder. Now, even though none of them took the stand, and despite Tim not testifying because of his own pending federal charges, the evidence was just overwhelming, right? So the jury, they got a clear picture of motive, opportunity, and execution, literally. By the end of January 2018, the trial had wrapped, but this story is far from over because when that verdict came down, hmm,
Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So when it came down for the verdicts, the courtroom was tense. The jury had heard weeks of evidence, everything from DNA, fingerprints, to text messages and surveillance footage, to cell phone tower data tracking every move. And despite all three defendants trying to downplay their roles or point fingers at each other, the prosecution had made one thing clear: this wasn't random. This was planned, coordinated, and deliberate. So here how it all ended. George Ryder, guilty of first degree premeditated murder. Eric Gibson, guilty of first degree premeditated murder. And Marcy Griffin was found not psych, she was found guilty of first degree premeditated murder and being a hater of all haters, right? All three were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Yes, you heard me. No parole for you, boo boo. The judge didn't mince words during sentencing. The court called it a senseless, calculated murder driven by jealousy and rage. July had been ambushed and executed, and each one of them played a role in making it happen. And I'm going to be honest with you. They deserve every bit of what happened to them. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
They really do. Because, again, you mad because he moved on. I don't care how he moved. And this is what kills me. Even if he moved on the wrong way, he still moved on, right? So even if y'all had a happy situation, you up and move or whatever the case, up and he up and left, whatever the case may be, I can. I'm not justified. I can see something like in a moment. You know how that moment you find out and you do something. They've been
mhm,
together for 2 years. Man, you should
mhm.
get over it. Like
But
get
it's like,
over
my
it.
thing
You
is
literally
it
is
worth?
that.
It's not even worth it. Not you got life.
It ain't. So women would go through all that to try to get a man back who don't want you in the first place. Or even men. I ain't gonna even say just, you know what I'm saying? Not just women, but men. So you risk your freedom and you about to be in jail scissoring. And these dudes about to get their booty cats touched because of a woman who wasn't wanted a man that didn't want her. Come on.
The tale is old
That's
as
crazy.
told.
So look, it didn't matter that Marcy didn't pull the trigger. She was the fuel behind it. It didn't matter that George or Eric tried to act like they barely knew each other. Their phones, their movements, and their actions told the truth. By the end, justice was served. But July's family still left the courtroom where they lost they could never truly heal from. And I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, they got, they got punished, but that doesn't bring your loved one back. Like that poor baby don't have her mama no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and oh, I hate when like little girls lose their moms. Like that's such a fear of mine. Like I couldn't imagine my daughter having to be without me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
No,
ridiculous.
I feel you.
So
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, especially in a heinous crime like that, like such a brutal crime. Like, you know what
yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
it was violent, and it was just so unnecessary. That's the thing. It was just so
Yeah.
unnecessary. So when Marcy was able to
Yeah.
speak, she said, quote, "My condolences to the family for their loss. I hope they find the person that committed this heinous crime. Michigan State Police Department and Warren Police Department illegally obtained my DNA and forced evidence against me to make it look like I committed this crime. Boo! We don't believe you. You need more people." So George is serving his sentence at the Thumb Correctional Facility. Eric is at the Ernest C. Brooks facility, and Marcy is holding it down at the Huron Valley Complex.
Mm. Now, as for my boy, the one I feel sorry for the most, you know what I'm saying? Besides, I got to do this because some of our listeners be saying I be insensitive. Besides July, of course, ultimately, but The one I feel sorry for the most, our boy Tim Leitner. He eventually took a plea deal on his federal gun charges. He was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison and served his time quietly. So Tim was released in 2022, and as far as we know, he's somewhere out there, hopefully laying low, staying out of the headlines. His connection to July's case may not have led to charges, but the ripple effects definitely touch every corner of his life. Because that brother would just had a good time with your girl. Y'all just had a good time. She on her way to work. And then all of a sudden she get killed. Police raid your house, take your money, and now you got a gun charge. And then you lose $480,000. Ah,
And 3 years
man.
of your life.
Oh, yes. So you lost your freedom, your girl, and your money. If
Mhm.
if you got to be more careful as a person, that's telling you got to be more careful, man. Put your money in the hidden compartment in your house.
I
Jeez.
wouldn't even
All
have the
right.
money in my house.
So there we go.
Yeah, I didn't like
I mean, but
this.
I'm just saying, you said you can't put it in you can't, I mean, now you could put it in crypto, I guess.
I would have my money in a storage. I would have my money in a storage facility, like literally locked up in a storage facility, because nobody's really checking storage facilities
I
because
mean,
it's
yeah, I
somebody
guess you're
else's
right.
name.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you gonna have that type of cash, because that's a lot of
Man, that's just a $500,000. And I mean, he already was had a car wash, so he was, you know what I'm saying, had money wrapped up in that.
and
Yeah,
he
that's
could
just,
get it
yeah,
for
that's a
money
lot of money.
laundering
True.
because
He
they
probably looked,
should
they
have.
like, man, we got your $480,000. Go ahead, dog. We ain't gonna even
Like I
trip.
said, he's lucky they
All
didn't
right.
get the
So
money.
that was the case, which they could have. All right. So, well, who is that the case of?
That was the case of poor July Johnson and her murder.
And Marcy, know what I'm saying?
Raggedy ass, bitter
Marcy can't get
ass.
over being a bitter man and the two dummies who participated in a senseless crime. That's what the case was. So let's go to our favorite segment
Love, lies, and alibis.
called. All right, here we go. Our favorite segment. You got it up?
Yes, I actually do for once. I do. Okay, so this week's
Oh,
love. Yeah, look at me. Here I go. This week's Love, Lies, and Alibis question of the week was: is sex on the first night a red flags or just adult chemistry doing its thing? Can you still build something real after that, or does it kill the mystery? You go first.
no, I don't think it's a bad thing. Know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta test drive the vehicle sometimes. Know what I'm saying? To see how it handles. Know what I'm saying? What type of horsepower it got. Know what I'm saying? So no, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I think society makes it seem like it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I think society make it seem like it's an issue. Because what does it make a difference if it's, you know what I'm saying? I don't get the first, or if it's, I don't know, 90 days, or I don't know, 6 months. If I'm going if I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be regardless. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you think that, oh, he gonna do this and then he gonna up and boogie on me, I can do that in 6 months, right?
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying. So to me, no, I don't see it being an issue. But go ahead. What about you?
You already know I'm not. That's me personally, because like I said, first of all, I
Oh
don't think
man,
it should
come
be in
on,
school.
girl. You gotta.
First of all, you already know how I feel. Like if you hit this, we go together, and if we go together, we may as well just get married.
Okay,
So
you gotta let them know beforehand. Like, look, I'm feeling a little
I'm
frisky.
like,
I'm just letting
I
you
did
know.
a disclaimer, but no, honestly, how do you like, I don't date. So, cause I don't, I feel like, first of all, like, I want, like, cause first, like, okay, let me get my words together.
Okay, slow it down.
Cause I just be so aggravated because, like, you go out on a date and they're like, okay, so when can I get some ass? Like, you don't even know my last name. Like, don't you want to know anything? Like, I'm just not in a
That's
rush.
why you ask all them questions. You ask all them questions at dinner.
Okay, and again, I don't but then okay, so you so this is how I look at it. And again, because I know somebody gonna have something to say. This is my personal opinion. Okay, so you go to dinner, they tell you a whole bunch of bullshit, you give it up. Now, which would you left with a wet ass in a dinner?
I mean, sometimes you need it. Sometimes, I
No,
mean, like, let's be
I'm good.
honest. I mean, look, I get it. But sometimes, let's be honest. You could just be like, look, this is all it's about. Like,
I've
I'm
never had a
this.
one
This is
night
what it
stand,
is
so
for
I
me.
can't tell
Like,
you about it. No.
oh well, okay, okay, Mrs. Perfect. Know what I'm saying?
I'm not, but
Jeez.
it's like I'm not, but I just feel like I need to like I want to get to know you. Like, I don't know. I've just, but again, that's just how I've always been. So I mean, I don't, I don't knock nobody who do it. Hey, whatever make you happy, that don't affect my life.
Whatever floats your boat.
Whatever makes you happy, it don't float, do nothing for me. Do what you do, live your life. That's just not how I choose to live my life. And if I'm called
All
boring
right.
for that,
Well,
I'm cool with
uh,
it.
okay. Well, we done listening to the Catholic nun Tiffany. Let's see what our listeners got to say. So VV said, I think it's a dope chemistry doing its thing. The only red flag is he or she trying to get knocked down raw. I feel that. That is true. I'll be
Okay,
looking at you
let's
sideways.
see. Faith says, "Ain't nothing wrong with a little test drive." LOL.
Okay. Read another one.
Perfect Melody said it can be, but it can also lead to a long-term relationship where you're engaged to be married, speaking from experience.
Oh, okay. She she said she
I mean,
first night, huh?
it
He
can. I
took her
mean,
to Denny. He took her to Denny's. Grand Slam, and look what you got. So Chris, oh, here we go. Krista Marie Wandia Shabazz. Come on, man. Four names. Four names. Jeez. It can lead to a ring, just depends on the person. If that's your person, it's a green flag.
okay, so let's see. Nene says, I don't feel it's a red flag. I think trying to pressure someone to do it on the first date is definitely a red flag, but two consenting adults do you. And I think that's part of the problem. Like, I feel like, because this was a question one day on the Sam Silk show. Like, this guy wrote in and he was talking about he took this woman to dinner. He spent $100. At the end of the night, he expected some ass, and he was like, the lady said no, so he was pissed off.
No,
And
I don't expect. I can say this from personal experience. I never went into it with expectation. Like never. If it happened, it happened. But
I think that's the problem. Like I told you, I one have an issue with don't spend a lot of money on me because I don't want you to expect anything after. Like, remember I told you when I was in Miami, I met
oh
like that
yeah.
I met that dude and he was like on it, like he tracked me down. He made sure we were going on a date. And I was like, hey, we just went to get some Jamaican food. I was like, I'll pay for my food or whatever. And he was like, no, you and me, I'm paying for it, and I'm paying for it. And I'm like, I'm comfortable with paying for my own food. And I'm like, I say this for a reason. And he like, nah, you good. And I'm like, okay. So then we went and got the drinks from the Fat Tuesdays, $60. You want me to pay for my drink? I'll pay for my Nah, I got this. You with me, you don't need no money. You sure? I'm sure. We sitting down eating, so can I come to your room?
He
No.
trying to get your fat Tuesday.
I was like, absolutely not. Like, I told you this before. No, no, and no. And he like, but I just spit. I said, let me tell you something. I specifically asked you several times. I said, furthermore, would you like me to give you your money back? Because I'm not giving you no ass. The man had a full on tantrum like a 2-year-old. Like he was literally got up and was stomping, like, I can't believe she ain't gonna give me none. Excuse me? I
Oh
don't
Lord.
owe you anything.
Good. I ain't never that serious.
Like you spent
Forty
$40.
$40. 40. All right.
It
So look.
might not even been, yeah, it was $40 for $10 for my food and $30 for my drinks. I won't give you $40 to
Well,
leave
let's
me.
look, let's say the price of coochie plummeted tremendously. So let's just so $40 right now. That's that's a little bit too much. But anyway, I feel it's an adult thing. Oh, this DeWitt, my boy DeWitt. I ain't heard from him, man. But hit me up, DeWitt. I feel it's an adult thing. If both parties are vibing and leads to that, then oh well, we having fun. We can learn each other as we go. The mystery of both of us will unravel. Man, he already come with some poetic stuff. That's my dude. All right, and one more. Who is Perfect Melody? You said that, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, Perfect Melody. Yeah, she the one that gave it up for some Denny's. All right, and that's it. Make sure that you guys, that's our love lies and alibis questions. So the question is, how do we leave a comment? Very easy. We drop our love lies and alibis question every Tuesday on our Facebook page, Love, Lies, and Alibis. You can join. All you have to do is answer 2 questions. And if you listen to the show, the questions are relatively easy, right? And if you leave a question, we'll be more than happy to, um, depending on, what it says. If it's good, we definitely gonna read it. Know what I'm saying? We read your question online. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want your name messed up, then tell me what name you want me to give y'all. Yeah, that's it for that, right?
Yes.
All right, what
So
we got? Look,
then
man, we got a live show coming up, y'all. And I don't think y'all understand like what we trying to do here, man. It's about to be an experience. And if anybody who dealt with us, no, we always give an experience. Real talk. We are good at what we do. Know what I'm saying? So we need you guys to check in. We want to vibe with y'all. We got so many listeners, man. So many people following us, man. We really want y'all to vibe with us, man. We are doing a virtual live on what day, Miss Tiffany?
August 2nd.
August 2nd. And how much are the tickets for the virtual?
Okay, so virtual tickets are $15. So for the virtual, you get the link. And I apologize because on the listing it says you'll get the link 24 hours before. However, when I spoke to our tech guy the other day, he said that we cannot send the link no more than 30 minutes before. So what you will receive is 24 hours before you will receive an email confirmation just letting you know again that your link will be sent 30 minutes before the live.
Yes, and we will be on time. So don't we not trying to we don't want you guys if we say it's gonna be 4 o'clock, whatever time it is, that's what time we will be on. We're not gonna be late. But go
It's
ahead,
going to
I'm
be
sorry.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Secondly, this is okay. There will be no replays. So if you missed the live show, you missed the case, there's no replays. We're not going to redo this case.
Yes.
So then from there, you have a $35 VIP virtual ticket.
Now
And
what we get with that? What do we get with that, Vanna White?
so, if you were on the live yesterday, I did show the box and what comes in the box. I may or may not post it, but those close out. So today you'll be listening to this on Monday. So Monday 7/21 is the last day to get your virtual VIP tickets because I have to actually make each box by hand, and that takes some time. So what's
Yes.
in the box? It's very pretty. I'll go ahead and post it. So inside the box, you're gonna get and it's a cute little box. It has Melanin Mysteries on the front. I created a logo just for this specific show. This is not gonna be another logo you'll ever see anywhere else. I created this design just for this show. Inside is a cute little t-shirt for you in the size that you need. You're gonna get some handcrafted popcorn that one of our wonderful vendors at the picnic made that
And it's
she
good
donated to
too.
us. Yes, I'm not a popcorn person. I don't even like popcorn, and it's candy popcorn. It's so good. I don't even like popcorn, okay, but it was good. And then I have a custom cup in there for you, as well as a little bottle of liquor. It's some
Liquor.
Tito's because I don't do, you know, weird liquor. But I mean, so you can pour up with us, and if you don't like Tito's, I mean, give it to somebody. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not about to put 1,000 different bottles in there. And yes, in your box, let's say this is the design that I created. You'll never see it again. So this is a one in a lifetime opportunity. So anytime we do
Yes.
something, I'm gonna create a whole new design just for that event.
And not even that the again, I gotta repeat. The case that we're doing, you're not gonna hear it. I mean, if you're not at the event virtually or in person, you will not hear the case unless somebody tell you. But we're not posting it. We're not adding it. So this is going to be the only time you're going to hear this case is if you participate, if you get the tickets, or if you come in person.
Okay, so lastly, you are able to pull up on us in person. Um, the date again, August 2nd at 8 p.m. It is in Cleveland. When you go to the website, those tickets are $30. And yes, there is a reason why there's no VIP because when you get there, we're going to take care of you. So that's why there's no VIP for the in person. You're going to be able to take pictures. You're going to get the live case. We got a lot of things in store. That's all you need to know. It's going to be a time. So if you want to pull up on us, it's $30. All of this can be purchased. These tickets can be purchased on the website. It's melaninmysteries.com. I made it very simple. You just go in there, grab your ticket, and pay. And that's it. And that's all you have to do. And then you get your stuff. And then we
And if
see
you
you. And then
need
we have a really
Klarna,
good time. And like I say, everything is going to be interactive. So Love Lies and Alibis will be interactive during the show. We have a moderator. You'll be able to ask questions. You may be able to make comments. It's going to be a really good time. So go ahead and make sure if you say y'all rock with us like y'all do, because there are more than enough people we see from the streams every week. Go ahead and get y'all tickets, please, and thank you.
Yes, and if you need Klarna is actually available.
Through the
Some
Klarna
people
app.
struggle. Yeah, on the
There's
Klarna
that
app,
go through
some
the
people
Klarna
struggle
app.
with $15. So I'm just saying. I
They
mean,
might
look.
be 5 tickets, so leave them alone.
Oh yeah, all right.
I
Now
don't
you
care
want
how you.
multiple.
I don't care how you pay for it. So anyway, moving on. Um, and if you missed our announcement last week, the BTCC, the Black True Crime Collective, which is comprised of us, our good sis Renee over at Melanin Mayhem, our brother Arthur over at Not My Brother's Keepers, and our little sisters Deja and Brittany over at A Sip of Red Rum. And we will be doing our very first event in Atlanta. It is a true crime paint and sip. So you are going to be able to get a live show, four different cases, because we're all going to present our own case. We're going to paint and we're going to sip on a little something. We're going to have a very good time. The date for that is October 18th. It is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. If you're in our group, you will be getting access to pre-sale tickets this week. And we will be dropping the link for that this week. And then the general tickets will be going on sale on August the 1st. And yes, so the whole crew is going to be together. And if you can't make it to Atlanta, that is okay, because we probably will be coming to a senior soon. So these are the two events that you need to keep in mind. August 2nd, which is in less than 2 weeks, grab your tickets ASAP, because I will be, especially those VIP virtuals, because I will be cutting those off as of Monday, the 21st. And then later this week, look, if you're in our groups, which will be you're either in A Sip of Red Rum, I don't think Arthur has his group up, Melanin Mayhem or Melanin Mysteries, or even in the BTCC group. We'll be dropping the link for the early bird tickets there. And like I said, everyone else, the tickets will be available on August the 1st. And BTCC shirts are available as well. If you would like those, you do have to go to somebody's page, one of our pages, and you can find the details on how to purchase those. Um, and again, we just want to thank everybody for rocking with us this long. We have, yeah, we just here, we vibe, and we appreciate it. That's all I got. I think.
All right. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's all we got then. We appreciate you guys listening to us, and go ahead and take us out, girl.
All right. So just remember that love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom and not felonies.
All right. See you next week. All right, y'all. That's it for this week's episode of Melanin Mystery. Now, if you want to keep up with us, we're on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Just search Melanin Mystery Podcast and hit that follow button. Now, if you want to take it a step further and get in on the behind the scenes tea, pull up to our private Facebook group called Love, Lies, and Alibis. But listen, do us all a favor. Answer the entry questions. If not, we will deny you. Faster than a broke dude in the DM. Y'all know how that go. Got a small business and looking to grow? We got limited spots for promos and partnerships. Just email us at podcast@melaninmystery.com before the inbox fills up. And last but not least, if you enjoyed the show, drop us a 5-star review or leave a comment. It helps more folks find us. And trust me, your boy trying to quit his day job eventually, so help a brother out, please. And we'll see y'all next time. Same mystery, same mess.